All right, guys. So welcome back. So today we're gonna talk about the new moon. Um, it's gonna be happening on the 18th of January. So I just first want to talk about what we've been experiencing. Is this like Capricorn opposed Cancer energy for the past couple weeks since Mars and all these planets kind of entered into uh, Capricorn. There's been all this energy opposing Jupiter, and we had that full moon in Cancer and this Mars Jupiter opposition, as well as all these other planets going through an opposition to Jupiter. Since Mars entered Capricorn being in its exalted position, hopefully we all have been able to be more productive when it comes to like our actions, habits, and behaviors, or the behaviors of building or working towards our goals, which these things all represent, an exalted Mars. And then also adopting new behaviors that honor our emotions or our emotional truth and nurturing that, which is Jupiter and Cancer. So let me see here. So like I said, on the 18th at about 1:50 p.m. Central Standard Time is when we'll be seeing this new moon. Um, the events could happen the day before, day after. That's what I usually do: day before, day after, day of. Other astrologers might actually tell you 3 days before, 3 days after as well. I think that's possible as well. It's just from what I tend to see is usually like day of, day before, day after. Um, but yeah, so I think that the new moon, is happening at the end of a process in Capricorn, because it's at 28 degrees, which is pretty much at the end of a sign, because it goes up to 29 degrees. So I believe two things we may notice here. We could see like a reinforcement of foundations, Capricorn, and then with all this energy here, we're reinforcing and then having it at this 28 degrees. I think we're reinforcing something we already did this whole time, and then also setting future plans in motion. So we're starting something here for the sake of the future. So, yeah, like when it comes to the reinforcement and foundations, like I said, we're strengthening that foundation, so that way, I guess as we go forward, we'll be able to stay consistent in whatever it is that we're starting here, whatever it is that we're doing, whatever our goals are, and then we're setting future plans in motion, meaning that you know, like it's at 28 degrees of Capricorn, and like I said, like we've already been going through this Capricorn energy this for since December, and so now we're at the end of Capricorn and we're starting something new. I think what it is that we're starting something for the sake of the future, which the next sign is Aquarius, dealing with the future and futuristic ideals and goals and things like that. So I think what we're starting now is for what's going to be happening there. Um, so with this new moon being in a Capricorn, which is an earth sign, it wants to be practical and grounded. Um, it's it's a cardinal sign which starts things as well, that often, you know, with cardinal signs, they want to start things that often tend to go in a new direction. And there are four different cardinal signs, which is Aries, who might say let's go, or let's do this. You got Cancer, who might say something like, let's nurture or let's protect this. Libra, which is, let's make it fair, or let's make it attractive or pleasing to others, so that way everybody involved doesn't feel left out or anything. And then you get to the last cardinal sign, which is Capricorn. And I think Capricorn usually is saying something along the lines of, let's build something that could last, or it could be saying, let's eliminate something, so it doesn't kind of mess up the integrity of what's going on, what's been built. Saturn is the ruler of Capricorn, so it's going to rule over this new moon. And the new moon ruler, Saturn, is in Pisces with Neptune. And both of these planets are sextiling this new moon as well. Saturn at 27 degrees, within a degree, and Neptune at 29 degrees, which is also within 1 degree. And so what we got here is, Pisces is a sign of grace, patience, and going with the flow. So I think, although ideas or steps might be going in that right direction, we may find ourselves not wanting to overstress or micromanage things too much, because this deals with the negative sides of that opposite sign of Pisces, which is Virgo. Virgo, although it has a lot of good qualities, some of the negative qualities could be, over analyzing, over stressing, micromanaging, trying to be too perfect about things. So the way you can deal with that is Pisces, which, and the North Node is here as well. So with the North Node being here, this is the direction we're probably gonna be more tended to go in, and it might be the right direction for us. And here, with Pisces here, you want to be, like I said, going with the flow, letting things happen, not worrying too much. So keep some of these Pisces qualities in the background of your mind and of your actions to help you get through this process, with Saturn, the ruler, being here. The new moon is also trining Uranus and Taurus. So this could be sudden ideas or thoughts, or an unexpected event that occurs. And this could help, with you breaking free from something, or giving a sudden opportunity for something. I think this may kick off this new moon, because the moon's gonna come into that trine with Uranus at 27 degrees, and, like, within an hour or two later, it's gonna make that exact conjunction with the sun. So yeah, I feel like this is starting off like with something you didn't expect, and then it might kind of start this new moon idea for you, or planting of a new seed, starting something for you. So I don't think it's something difficult necessarily, because it's a trine, which is a harmonious aspect. Oftentimes, what I experience with trines is that it's kind of like the good things that are working in the background. Like, when when for example, when your hot water when your hot water is working, when water in general is working, when these things are working, you don't tend to think about it much, but let it stop working. Let, like, some type of opposition or square aspect happen that makes it to where these things stop working. Your hot water goes out. Your water in total goes out. Then now it's like a crisis. Like, you're like, oh man, what am I gonna do? You can't take a shower because it's too cold, or there's no water, or other little things like that. Like water in general itself. When when it comes to water, you don't value it on a daily basis that much. but let you run out of water, let you not have access to water, and then this becomes the most crucial thing. And I think trines kind of work in a similar way, where there are things happening in the background that are good, but oftentimes you may not notice it. It might not show up as a big thing just because it's working. It's just working in your favor. So that's how I tend to look at these things. But I think it's essential to playing a part of the new moon in the cycle. This trying to Uranus, and I think you'll have to go back to that Saturn to understand how to possibly deal with it, especially if it is unfavorable, like something unfavorable that you didn't want happens unexpectedly. Then maybe going back to that Saturn, like I told you, um, possibly learning just to sit, be patient, calming yourself, maybe developing some meditation type practices, so that way if something occurs, like you're able to just calm yourself down, ease your way through the process. And then another thing that I wanted to talk about was the first quarter moon of this cycle, which will be happening on the 25th. I think it's let me see, it'll be around the 25th, I believe. Yeah. The 25th at about, yeah, at about 10:48. Let me put this here. At about 10:48. As you see, the sun is in Aquarius at this point, and the moon is in Taurus at this point, and they're making a square at 6 degrees. I guess I could have gotten it, or no, that's exact. Yeah, at 6 degrees. So, um, with that energy, I would definitely want to mark this on your calendar. I like to, these quarter squares, like if you're talking about a new moon or a full moon, I think these first quarter and third quarter squares are good to take note of as well, because it's gonna help you with understanding the process of how the cycle is gonna end up working out for you. Um, the sun will have moved to Aquarius and the moon in Taurus, both at 6 degrees. What we could expect is here there's going to be at this first quarter square, which is when the sun and moon make their first square after the new moon. What we could expect is this pressure to take steps or action that's needed to be taken toward your new moon intentions, whatever you set out during this new moon cycle. The sun being in Aquarius will represent kind of that conscious goal you got in mind, innovative, future focused, detached maybe, or dealing with some type of humanitarian efforts. And then the moon represents the emotional feeling in Taurus, grounded, sensual, security seeking, persistent, and possibly, you could be stubborn during that time. Um, this square has a tension here, and it probably has you wanting to go towards those future goals, but something may occur which make you feel like you need to slow down for some of you, or stay grounded, stay consistent with what you're already doing, but just stay persistent and patient until the results come. Um, I think because the new moon is in Capricorn, this is, it's a cardinal sign which likes to start things. So this gives the new moon in general is a start. It's in a cardinal sign that likes to start things. So there is a possibility you've already started something, and this is a point where, okay, just keep it going. Something forces you, like, yeah, it shows you you're right on the right path, and it wants you to keep it going. Or it might tell you to slow down just a bit because you might be getting a little bit ahead of yourself. So I think one of the two things could be happening because these are in Aquarius and Taurus. Um, I think that themes you could be looking out for is, money and security, Taurus, versus innovation and freedom. Uh, this could be like, should I take a risk when it comes to this new idea, or should I play it safe? Because I understand some of your guys' money might not be money in during this time to justify taking that big leap of faith. I definitely have been there many a time, so I understand that could be happening for some of us. Or future ideals, Aquarius, meeting real world practicality or sustainability. Since Taurus deals with being able to sustain, it's a fixed sign. So usually it sustains what has already been started by another cardinal sign. Typically Aries comes before it. So, but it's trying to sustain what has already been started or already been built. Um, Then, if we look further, so this is the first quarter square, which is going to be usually our first call to action. Then, if we look on the 1st of February at about, I want to say, let's see, at about, is this right? Yeah, at about 4:08 p.m. Central Standard Time, of course. The moon is going to move into Leo. And now this is where things become a little bit more clear for us about what's going on, that with the things we set out for 2 weeks ago, which would be January 18th. Um, it's, about the reality of the intentions you set during that new moon. You're likely either to see the results, and they're probably going to show up in a bold, fiery Leo kind of way, dramatic. You might see some drama happening, or you could be the one that comes to a realization that you need to take some kind of bold action at this point, some big action, or you might be the one that's being more dramatic as well. So I would definitely keep these two dates, the 25th and the February 1st, in mind when it comes to this cycle, on seeing how your process is going from week to week, from the 18th to the 25th to the 1st, and you'll see how things go. And like I said, by about the 1st, around the 1st, give it a day before, day after, day of, you'll probably see the results of like what it is, the full illumination of what's going on. Also, there'll be a full moon video put out during that time, and you could check out the full moon video to get more clarity on that. But yeah, I think by this time we'll definitely see like what's going on in regards to this. And I think, yeah, we'll either see some great results, or like I said, you'll know what actions that really need to be taken. And there probably need to be bold actions, like big actions. So, uh, with that, as I think, you know, they'll be important to this new moon cycle starting here in Capricorn. Now I want to go back to the new moon, and let's go over the 12 signs and how each sign is going to probably experience this. So, let's see. Obviously, if you're Aries rising, let me the get it back to the 18th at 1:50 p.m. All right. So if you're Aries rising, this Capricorn new moon is in your 10th house. Yes, your 10th house. So this could be in your work sector, career sector, your public image, how your people seeing you. This could be dealing with authority figures. And like I said, there could be some new start here. So this could be a new start where possibly you're starting something new. If like say if you already just recently started something new in your career, this could be you starting some new approach that should last for the future. Uh if it's like if it's not related to that, if it's related to public authority figure, maybe something's going on with them and maybe you're having like a new leader or something like that going on. Um yeah. And then if you're a Taurus rising, this is happening in your ninth house. The ninth house deals with wisdom, adventure, foreign places, foreign people, universities, higher education. So, with a start here, new moon, new start here, you could be putting, you could be starting a new year, like a new semester in something, if it's school or new, like something that you've already been, like a subject matter that you've already been studying, but now you're starting something something in a like new area of that subject matter potentially. You could be starting something new when it comes to the like an idea you had, so it could like branch off of an idea that you already had, some belief that you already had. Ninth house deals with belief, so you might have had some broad belief, but now you're starting and having new beliefs that kind of branch off of something that you are that happened there. And then it could be a start to a new adventure overseas. Could be a start to different, foreign people coming into your life. It could be ended up being related to work, as all these planets end up migrating over into Aquarius, which is your 10th house. So I would definitely expect, yeah, some new kind of either foreign things or things dealing with your beliefs starting during this time, and then eventually maybe affecting how your public image is or how your work, your career ends up being. If you're a Gemini, so Gemini risings, if you'll have this in your eighth house. So eighth house deals with intimacy, shared resources, taxes, debt, these types of things. I think with the new moon starting here, maybe you could be starting, maybe you've had previously talks about being more intimate, more open with a partner, whether that's a love relationship or maybe even a business partner. And this could be starting a new foundation for you guys to be intimate and open with each other. And it would lead, since it's at the end of Capricorn, leading to that ninth house of adventure and deeper like beliefs and wisdoms in regards to your relationship potentially. Or it could be something dealing with some new assets coming in. Maybe your partner has new things coming in. Yeah. If you're a Cancer or Cancer rising, this is in your seventh house. So you could be dealing with a new start in relationships, whether that's a business relationship, love relationship, friendship, some kind of new start, starting kind of like strengthening a foundation, re-strengthening something. Maybe you saw cracks in your relationship and you're just trying to patch things up here, so that way you can move into this eighth house of being more intimate and more connected on the same wavelength. I definitely see that happening for a lot of cancers. If you're a Leo, this is in your sixth house, and sixth house deals with work, routine, habits, health. So this could be something dealing with your health. Maybe you're trying to get the foundation of your health right. Maybe you've already been having these ideas. You might have already been doing some things, but you might be going back and kind of looking, like, okay, what do I need to do to be a little bit more healthy? Drink a little bit more water, uh, eat some more greens, cut out the sugar, things like that. It could also be work related. So, starting some new things in your work, like the actual work you're doing, uh, new habits, new behaviors. And then this could help with a better connection with self, or a better, it could help you, like, as you do these things, it could help you with your relationships with the people you work with. If you're a Virgo or a Virgo rising, this is in your fifth house. Fifth house deals with romance, creativity, um, love, uh, these different things. So if you're a Virgo, I'm looking at this fifth house and thinking that this new start could be definitely a new project. Like, it could be starting something new within a project you've been working on, or it could be, it deals with children, so it could be some new start with one of your children. Like, maybe there's something new that they're starting. And then it could also be a new start to romance, something in romance, dealing with romance, or kind of a fun fling type of energy. Um, but it's Capricorn, so it might be a little bit more than just a fling. But something serious here, maybe before you guys connected, and now you're realizing, like, there was some things that didn't really work out quite as you wanted, but here at this new moon, you find yourself um, fixing that, and so for the sake of a better relationship for you guys. So yeah, that could definitely be happening for a lot of Virgos and Virgo risings. If you're a Libra or Libra rising, this is in your fourth house. The fourth house deals with the home, the family. So the family could be doing some new things. This could be just new things happening with people in your family, in your house. You could be redoing some things, remodeling some things with the house or the home. Um, yeah, it could be things happening behind the scenes. Maybe you're building because the fourth house also deals with your private kind of inner world. Maybe you're emotionally making yourself more like resilient, dealing with Capricorn, and you saw holes maybe emotionally, and now you're trying to strengthen that, so that way you come up and show up in the world more resilient when it comes to things that are happening that happen to you. So yeah, I hope this makes sense, and yeah, good luck. If you're a Scorpio or Scorpio rising, this is happening in your third house. The third house deals with communication, of course, but it also deals with relatives, siblings, neighbors, people around you, your immediate environment. Um, what I can see here is maybe there's things going on in your immediate environment. Maybe things are being built, new housing complex, new buildings, new things being built, like kind of around you. This could be things happening to your siblings or your neighbors, things happening in their life, and that you notice that they're starting new things. That's kind of significant. And then also it could be new communication, something happening in communication. If you're like a writer or a singer or things like that, maybe there's new things that you're writing about. You're getting a new sense of ambition to start writing. Like these things could be happening when you have a new moon in the third house. If you're a Sagittarius or Sagittarius rising, this is happening in your second house. So second house deals with income, things you value, self-esteem, and such things. So there could be new money endeavors happening here. Maybe you're setting out for some new opportunities when it relates to income. New money may be coming in. You could be building a more secure emotional secure foundation. For example, you might have realized, like, you're triggered a little easily, so now you want to be more secure within yourself, uh, and your self-esteem. You might be finding that something that you value is taking shape and starting to build value here. I'm trying to think, something like stocks or Bitcoin or something like that. Yeah, and then for Capricorn and Capricorn risings, this is in your first house. So you could be starting a new look. You could be going back to an old look, but now you're renewing it, revamping it. It's new now. Um, there could be new things happening when it comes to the body, with your figure. You could be working out, and for the future, for to have a certain type of body, you're trying to body build. I can see that with Capricorn in the first house. Um, yeah, definitely I could see that. Building a new sense of self, how you want to show up in the world. So yeah, I think this can show up in many different ways for a lot of Capricorns. If you're an Aquarius rising, this is going to be in your 12th house. So 12th house deals with isolation, retreating, I think vacation even, um, meditation, and these types of things. So you could be dealing with you might be creating a new meditation practice to weather the storms that happen in life. You could find yourself, if you work in a place that, like a prison, hospitals, these places are usually 12th house places. You could find yourself working in some of these types of places where people are isolated or are closed off from the rest of the world, whether that's the patient or people who are being taken care of or watched, or whether that's you, the person that's working there. This could also be possibly planning a new trip. Uh, yeah, new trip for vacation, to kind of retreat, kind of like more of a retreat type of thing. So yeah, this definitely could be happening for a lot of Aquariuses. And last but not least, Pisces and Pisces risings. This is happening in your 11th house. So with this being in your 11th house, this deals with friendships, groups, communities, the tribes you belong to, or your ideals, your goals, your like future goals, the big ideas, the big things you wish for. Um, this could be, yeah, a new start to your goals. You could find something starting here that end up taking for end up taking fruition later on. This could be you getting involved in new groups or communities, and you find your start here, and you're now finding yourself belonging here. Um, and yeah, with that Mars, exalted Mars there, yeah, you want to take action in these communities and groups. So yeah, I think this definitely could be beneficial for a lot of you Pisces, and I look forward to hearing how this turns up. So I appreciate you guys for listening, and I'll check you out and talk to you next time. Thank you.